We all get these doorbell cameras for a little peace of mind, right? To see who's dropping off a package or who's ringing the bell. But sometimes they capture something else, something way more unsettling. They've accidentally become this window into the darker side of human behavior, showing us just how terrifyingly close danger can get. And this quote really just hits the nail on the head. These little cameras, the ones we install for security, are giving us these chilling real-world lessons in why we have to be aware of what's around us, especially in those last few feet before we're safe inside. So let's kick things off by looking at the most direct kind of threat out there. We're calling this threats at the threshold. These are the moments where danger isn't just lurking down the street. No, it's actively following someone right up to their front door, all captured in horrifying detail. All right, so our first case here. It starts with something that should be completely normal. It's just a mom arriving home, holding her baby daughter. But what her camera caught was a quiet, everyday moment that was almost shattered into a million pieces. And what's so chilling when you watch this footage is how deliberate it all is. You see the guy walking up the driveway, and he just pulls a mask right over his face. He's not trying to hide what he's about to do. The little girl actually sees him, but her mom has no idea. She's just focused on getting inside. She gets the door shut and locked, just seconds, mere seconds before he gets to it. But the most terrifying part, that came later. When she told the police, they mentioned they were investigating a series of violent attacks on women and children in that very area. That simple act of locking her door might have saved both of their lives. Okay, so from that incredibly close call, we're escalating things to a straight-up violent ambush. In this next one, the threat isn't just following, it's hunting, weapon out as a couple gets home from what was supposed to be a fun night out. The footage is just pure chaos. The husband gets the door unlocked, and just as his wife is coming in behind him, she turns around and sees a man with a gun chasing her up the driveway. She bolts inside, slams the door, locks it, and then the suspect spots the camera, that little watchful eye, and he just smashes it to pieces with his pistol. The wife's theory was that they'd been targeted at the casino, followed all the way home for their winnings. But here's the thing. Even though he smashed it, that camera had already done its job. That video gave the police the critical evidence they needed. Just 10 days later, they had a name and a face, and they arrested an 18-year-old suspect. He was charged with first-degree burglary, and while he pleaded not guilty, the legal process could finally begin, all thanks to that recording. Okay, so danger at your front door is one thing, a terrifying thing. But what happens when it's already inside? Now we're going to look at some incidents caught by cameras inside the home. This next case is, it's pretty much a universal nightmare, right? An intruder in your house while everyone's asleep. But this one, it got way more personal and way scarier. And listen to this. This is from the 15-year-old girl herself after she woke up and found a total stranger just standing over her bed, watching her sleep. Can you even imagine that feeling? Her words say it all. It's just pure horror. So Anya screams, and that sends the guy running. Her mom gets the family safe and calls the cops. But by the time they get there, he's long gone. But, and this is a big but, the camera got a crystal clear shot of his face. Because of that footage, police were able to follow up on a tip and arrest a 14-year-old boy. He ended up facing some really serious charges. Okay, but, not every situation is so black and white. This next video really got people arguing online. It shows two men walking up to a house just a few seconds after a young woman went inside. So what are we really looking at here? It's tricky. On one hand, you could argue the guys look genuinely lost, like, oops, wrong house. But then you look at the other side, and the timing is just way too suspicious. They try the doorknob literally 5 seconds after she goes in. Then one guy seems to point out the camera to his buddy, and they only take off when she screams that she's calling the cops. So was it an honest mistake, or a plot that got foiled at the last second? The footage really leaves you wondering. All right, for our last section, we're going to dive into some of the most insidious threats, the ones that don't always use brute force. These are the ones that use deception, psychological games to get what they want. Now, this next case, it's different. It's not one big violent attack. It's this slow, creeping dread documented by a camera, night after night after night. Get this. For a solid month, almost every single night, this woman's camera catches the same man just standing outside her door, staring. She told the police, but apparently nothing really happened, so she finally got desperate and put the footage on social media. Her post went viral, and that finally got a reaction. Her friends actually went and confronted the guy, and the building stepped up security. It's a pretty scary reminder that sometimes you have to make noise to be heard. Okay, so our last clip. At first glance, this looks like a woman who is in serious, serious trouble. She's at a stranger's door, middle of the night, crying, begging for help. But watch closely. I mean, she looks totally frantic, doesn't she? But then, watch what happens. A car drives by and she immediately dives into the shadows to hide from the headlights. Then another car passes and she does it again. Each time she ducks out of sight. So the question is she hiding from someone, or is she just trying to make sure there are no witnesses while she sets some kind of trap? Well, the answer to that question came about a month later. Police in El Paso arrested a woman who looked exactly like the person in the video. And the really crucial part was the charge she was facing: burglary of habitation. Now, this isn't just trespassing. As you can see, it means entering a home with the intent to commit a serious crime: theft, assault, you name it. And all of a sudden, her whole act doesn't look like a cry for help anymore. It looks like a carefully planned lure to get a kind stranger to open their door. So after seeing all of this, what are the takeaways? First off, you have to be aware of your surroundings, especially in that little moment when you're getting out of your car and walking to your door. Number two, don't just open your door. Verify who's there. Third, and this is a big one, trust your gut. If a situation feels wrong, it probably is. And finally, use this technology for what it's for. It's a tool for awareness, and if the worst happens, it's a tool for evidence. So at the end of the day, all these clips really boil down to one simple but honestly pretty powerful question. We know the camera is always on, it's always watching. The real question is, are we?